69 years ago, in a world still divided by color lines and barriers, two young hearts made a promise that would stand the test of time. This is the story of Eugene and Ida, a love rooted in faith, family, and a lifelong devotion to God and to one another.
My name is Ida Louise. It's a hill now due to this beautiful man over here. I was born September the 17th, 1936 in Memphis, Tennessee. And that's where I met this young man over here. I went to Booker Washington High School, graduated, went to college a couple of years. Then when I met him, we ended that. We fell in love and I learned about him. I'm from a family of 10. I have 7 sisters and 3 brothers. They're not alive now. And he has 12 people in his family. So we were together on that. I'm from big families. He proposed to me. In those days, in the 50s, there was different rules. He met my father, and he approved of him. He would bring him ice cream in the nighttime. He's a nice young man. He fell for that, My dad fell for it. And I did too.
My name is Eugene here. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I was born in 1934. So when I was 17 years old, I went to the Army and went to White Cliffs of Dover when I turned 18 years old. I was stationed at Baumholder, Germany for 3 years. And then I got out. I was planning on staying in, but I met my wife and never forgot all about that. I was going to stay. I was going to make a career out of it because I was going to be 36 years old and I'd been retired. But when I met her, I forgot about all that stuff. And we got married and we had 2 children, a son and a daughter. I wanted a son and I wanted a daughter, and that's what I had. My son was named Judy Hill Jr., and I wanted my daughter to be 4 years after he was born, so I could send him to college. I didn't want to have no problem sending him to college. And they told me that both of them was college material. Then I started saving my money so I could send them to college. And I took my wife, she wasn't going to college. I was making 85 cents an hour and sending her to college.
What was my favorite childhood memory? My main favorite childhood memory was growing up with our big family of 10. I'm the baby. I was the last one. As they called me, I had 3 sisters. I was the tattletale. My dad was very strict in those days with the young men. And here was the baby. I was spoiled. And I would tell on them when they would meet the young men. Then they would kind of get even by we go to the movies. They'd walk a little faster for me. Then as I grew up, I decided, Daddy, I don't want to tell anymore. He said, I understand, baby. I remember that so well because my sisters were beginning to retaliate. They'd run off and leave me a little dark and stuff. So I told him I didn't want to do that. He said, I'll see, understand. And I never did that. And they're living today, those 3. My oldest sister, she used to love the boys. And I used to tell on her when she was with them. She's 93 years old. We talk every other day. She's the mommy now. And I love that. I have another sister that's alive. She's the second one. We're 2 years apart. She has 3 children, and the other one that I talked about has 2, and I had 2. I have 1 now. And my life has been beautiful. My husband was a part of it. That was my next favorite thing, was meeting him.
My childhood memories is my mother. She was always a giver, and she loved people. And that's how I started loving people, from her. And I had a grandpa, George Malone, my mother's daddy. I belonged to his church. I started going to church and I was going to be baptized, but my mother wouldn't let me be baptized because I wasn't 12 years old, but she was Methodist. So when I was 17, I got baptized and got saved.
I got a question.
Okay.
What made you like your wife?
You really don't want me to say.
You told me, but I need to hear why.
You really don't want me to say. We worked at St. Joseph's Hospital.
Uh-huh.
And after I got out of the army, and I was a janitor in surgery. and she was worked in the dye kitchen, and she would
Hospital.
take the food and stuff around. And I saw her behind, and I said, uh-oh. I forgot all about the army and everything else. Then we got married. I was 22 and she was 19.
Okay, what made you pick Gene? Because I heard you had options.
Well, Eugene and I got together. I worked at a St. Joseph Hospital in my growing up the years at high school. He came there after military. He came and got a job there, and we met, and we liked what we saw. I was pretty hippie in those days. He told me that a couple of times. We got together, and we realized we liked each other. We were from the same type family, large families, and it grew from there. From the hospital to my home, courting, and then you had to court, you know, all the loving and stuff. You had to have a ring on your finger in those days. You get the ring, and that gives you one more mile, but you can do things. He was a ladies' man, and of course, his good looking. He was I hate to stop that, so I did. He put the ring on the finger. That was step one. That meant it was serious then. And we got along. I met the family real well. He met my family. He was a gentleman. And they all liked each other, and we loved each other. That's what I tell my grandbabies. You got to like them. When you meet them, you have to like them. Don't just love them, like them. Because time goes on, like 69 years with him. You have to like him, and I do. I like him, and I love him.
I want you to talk about coming from Memphis to Sacramento.
I worked at St. Joseph, and I was having to take my vacation. I wanted to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, but then I had a brother living in Sacramento. So I called him and told him, I said, I'm coming on vacation. If I find me a job, I'm going to stay. He said, okay, come on. So that's what I did. I come here, I got a job in the county hospital. I left there. I went to the post office. I left the post office. I went to Mayfield as a painter. And just how God worked. God said, tithes. I said, what? He said, tithes. I started tithes, and all this started moving. I started going. I went from a 3 to a 7 in grade. And I was making plenty of money so I could take care of my family. My children, my son and daughter, like I said before, they both was college material. And I want to make sure that they had the money to go to college. And I let them know that I was saving money so they could go to college. And my daughter, she was so pretty, I tell you the truth. My wife, all she had to do with her money was buy to get some clothes. And she asked me, she said, I need some money for the birthdays, holidays. And I said, how much you need? Because I love my children, both of them.
Well, growing up, as I say, it was a big family. And my dad, believe it or not, he was a minister. I didn't say that earlier, but he was a pastor when I was young, until about 10 years old. He was a minister. He gave that up. But he taught us the word of the Lord, to love the Lord, you know, go to church, live the life, you know, have faith, learn to love people, show your love. And that's what I did when my family grew up, married, had families, had kids. We talked to them about the love of the Lord, loving the people that they want to fall in love with or be a gentleman or nice. But be yourself, you know, to take care of yourself. We learned that. And after I met my husband, and he moved, to go to a better job, I moved with them up there, and we did. He got a better job myself right away, he did, and we stayed there till we retired. We had a lovely life.
Two things I made sure of, that my children would get in church. And I take them to church. I took them to church to make sure they know the Lord. And each one of them, one by one, came to me and said, Daddy, I want to be baptized. And my daughter, the same way, she said, I want to be baptized. Now her children go to church, and they've been baptized. So I just wanted my children to know the Lord.
The secret to being married 9 years?
Well, during my 69 years of being married with my husband, there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of problems that you run into. But as I was told, you need to like them, know what kind of person they are when you marry him, which I did. He was from a nice family, a loving family. And we have problems. We discussed them, and we got over them. There was no fighting in my marriage. For some reason, we didn't fight. No one ever hit me. He never hit me. I never hit him. I believe it. It's because I liked him. I know that. I know it would pass. I might say things, say some words, but then we forget them later. We do an argument. Sometimes you say you don't like them. And if I tell you I don't like you, that's bad, because I know I love him. But if you have your arguments, which you will have, I've never left him and he's never left me, because we discussed it. We would get over it for some reason. We never hit each other. Oh my God, thank you for that. And I thank the Lord for that. We never fought each other. We talked about each other. We said little ugly things, but we got over it. We know how to talk and get over it.
Okay.
How you stay married for 69 years?
Pray.
The Bible says, be still and know that I am God. So therefore, anything come between us, I would always just be quiet. Let her have her way. And that's how I survived 69 years.
Who inspired you the most in your life? Outside of God, who inspired you?
Well, one of my sisters, we lived all with my dad in the average house, but she bought a house. My sister, she married a young husband, and they invested in a home. And I would say, I want to be like my sisters. She had a beautiful home, no children, but she had a lovely home. She bought nice things. She had a job. She had to work. She just didn't let her husband work and take care of, like a lot of the people did in those days. They marry you and be a housewife. The husband worked. She got a job, and I got inspired with that. I had 2 years of college. I should have had 4 maybe. But I got a job too when I got to California. I wanted one, and I stayed there. It was just the one to travel the world. I was blessed in so many ways. I got to travel, and then when I'd go, he was going home and go with me sometime. I could take them with me, and then he'd stay with the kids. After work, he'd be with the kids. He'd always had our kids there, but I would never go away without him going with me on weeks or stuff. He would go sometime.
Where did you work at?
McClellan Air Force Base. I was there for 30 years. I was there till I retired.
What kind of work did you do?
I did a lot of traveling. We set up offices. My job, we would go to military, we go to bases, we go to all the air bases. If it was Memphis, if it was New York, we go to the air base. It was an air force, and we would set up their business for them, and I would go with them, help build it. We would build a place for the utilities that we had to do. So that meant that we got to travel the world, which I did. Korea, Japan, all the states. If it was Air Force Base, Ida Hill had been there. And we set it up as a group of guys. And by the way, I was the second woman there. It was 2 of us. All the rest were men. It's a good paying job. And we stayed there. We did secretarial work with those people, taught them the procedures of the air bases, and they were there. We went there and did the work that we did to set up each base.
Who inspired you outside of God?
My mother. I see how she loved people. Back in them days, they had food stamps, and we had a big family, so we had a lot of food stamps, and she would give them to different people around there. And that inspired me with her love, and she showed love, and that's how I got, like I am now, love. Said love lifted me.
What was your relationship with your grandmother?
I lived with my dad's mother for a little while. My uncle, he went in the army, he had to go overseas. So I had to go live with my grandmother. I didn't have to, but I went to live with my grandmother. She was beautiful. She looked like an Indian almost, cold black hair. I lived with her for a little while, and she inspired me.
Who brought y'all to California?
Well, when my husband's brother lived in California, then he wanted to go to California when he got out of the military. After he married me, we wanted to leave Tennessee and make our lives there, have raised our children in the West, in the weather side of it. And when he did that, well, I followed him as a wife. I came up when he got a job, and we had our family there where we could live and be happy, have some of the things. The one that had lived in Memphis, well, she would buy me clothes to go to look nice when I went to high school. When my mother passed when I was 10 years old, and my sisters took care of us. The older ones took care of the young ones like me, and this one took care of me. She'd buy me clothes. The one that had the job and the nice home, she would make me look nice, going to school with fine clothes. And I learned from that to like nice things, teach your kids to enjoy life and work yourself, Count on the Lord to help you get a good job, if He will, and you can take care of it. And they do that. They take care of themselves. I'm proud of them.
My brother Melvin, he lived in Sacramento. So instead of going to Grand Rapids, I came to Sacramento because of the weather. And when I got here, he treated me. I mean, I worked at the hospital, and I would get off at like 11 o'clock at night. He would come pick me up every night and bring me home. I didn't have to worry about that because the buses would stop running. So my brother Melvin, where he smiled and laughed, and he was in church, he was a Christian. So that helped me to get to love him more.
When my husband moved to California, he stayed with his brother, Melvin Hill, and I met his family. He had a wife and children, and they welcomed us until we could get settled in our home. There was Patricia, they were babies then, and I lived there with them, and then we grew up here and came to love California, because they made it easier for us. One of the reasons we went to California was for segregation. It was segregation in Tennessee where we were. Segregation was the law then. They had a right legally to make you go in the back door, not the front door. And we didn't want that, the younger kids. I wanted something better for my kids. And he wanted something better.
I had a twin sister.
Your favorite
Her name was, I'm looking at her. His son's name was Geraldine, and my name was Eugene. And we, as growing up, I loved her and she loved me. And when I got ready to come to California, she told my wife, "You ain't leaving me." So she came to California with my wife. And she lived with us for a while, and she got married and moved to Pittsburgh, California. That's one of the reasons. Another reason I didn't want my children to be brought up in the South.
How did your house become the house that all of the kids grew up in?
Well, when we came to California, Melvin, his name is Melvin, the one we stayed with, it was a loving family. And when we got there, and they treated us well, and we got us a place. We got our place. We got to meet the kids, the nieces and the nephews, and they tend to like us. And when you like and love one another, make them welcome. We got our house. We made them welcome to come and visit us, and they did, and they enjoyed being there. And it became a family house that they loved to come to. The children, I had 2 kids, and they grew up, and Melvin had 3 years, and they grew up. It's happened that we loved each other for some reason. And it grew, and it grew. The kids grew up. They loved Aunt Ida, and Aunt Ida loved them. And it never stopped. They never stopped loving. I feel welcome at that same house, that used to family anyway. We're still friends, we're still family. And we get here and we created a family. People that we care about, that's close to us, they're welcome to come to our house. When we have parties, birthday parties, they come and they enjoy themselves. And that's what families do. in the South.
So it wasn't because of the Kool-Aid?
Well, I would cook and I would make my little Southern dishes sometimes. Lots of sugar, which is wrong, but they would like it. I would feed them. They liked it, I made it. And I still make it. And they still drink it, And I make them feel welcome. But we love to do things together. We buy, have to get-togethers, and we enjoy parties, nice parties.
Love. I was brought up in a loving family. We never fought between us. And we the love that my mother instilled into me, I stole to them. I sold to them. It was just nothing but love. Loving God.
What are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful that my life has been the way it is and that it has become. I met people and I meet people and I be myself and we become friends or neighbors or however that is. I have entertainment that we appreciate doing. I meet people that I can talk to. It's just what you are, what I am. I think that makes it, be what my life is. I have my children, and I give my love to them, and they give theirs to me. So I don't worry about anything too much. I have a loving life. I'm blessed. I've had all these years of marriage, and I've been happy most of the time. But then you have to have faith to bring you back sometime, and I do. I talk to the Lord when I am critical things, and you have faith, and it straightens it out. You go back and sit down and do what you've been doing. I learned to talk to people where, we're not perfect, and life is life. You're going to have different problems. Everything is not going to go your way, not going to go his way. And we learn to talk to each other because I like him. I really like him as a person.
What are you most grateful for?
My children and my grandchildren. I love them so much. I was able to take care of my son and my daughter when they were growing up. They didn't want for nothing. So that's what I'm most grateful for, my children and my grandchildren.
What is your favorite thing to do every night before you go to bed?
Well, like you say, my husband mentioned your children. I like to stay in their lives. People I met when I first come here, my babies. Like I say, my heart, that's what they'll always be, my babies. I love them. And that gives something to my heart to know that they are there. My nieces, my daughter, my husband, my friends. I make up things to be with them. Like my sister would say, her children don't come to see her. I say, well, call them. I call them. I call my babies. I call them. And I want to be with them. And most of the time, they call me back. And I love that. That keeps them in church. They know. That keeps them in my heart. To know that they know that I love them. And I do these things because I want to be near them. And that makes me happy.
So what do you do every single night before you go to bed?
Well, I have a rule now that when I came here, they were babies, and they still babies. And I call them at night and say night-night to them. And they like that. They say night-night, Grandma. Night-night, Mama, ain't Ida. And I like that. That makes me feel good for them to know that I love them. As I tell them, they'll always be babies to me in my heart. And babies are babies. I'd like to put them to bed. Say night-night to them. I think they know that now.
What do you do every night before you go to bed?
To pray before I go to bed every night. Then I found out I should pray in the morning. I have a devotion. I read my scripture and sing and pray every morning for my family. So I used to do that at night, but I do it in the daytime now, in the first thing in the morning.
How do you feel like you living so long?
Because God. Nobody but God. That's really all I need to say. 91 years old, don't take no medicine. I went to the doctor 3 times, and he tried to give me some blood pressure medicine. And I did what my niece told me to do. She told me to take 10 deep breaths, in and out. And that's how I control my blood pressure.
What scripture describes you and your life?
23rd Psalm. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pasture, leading me beside the still water. He restores my soul, and leading the path of righteousness for his name's sake.
People are loving me, and I want to thank them for being there, my family, being there, wanting this for me, because they love me like I love them. This is a blessing for me. God has got this here. He brought us all here, and he'll take us when he's ready. But he's given me all this love from all my family, and I hope I can repay him for it by loving them back, which I do. They're here, my family, and I know they love me. My friends, I know they care. Thank you, Father. Thank you.
My Aunt Ida and Uncle Gene have been with me my entire life. There's never a time when I don't remember them being prominent figures to me. They are the most loving and caring and just like special people. They make me feel like I'm their favorite. And in my mind, I am. But they have so many people that they have helped to raise, that they have fed, they have loved. My Uncle Gene, he's a little mellow, super Christian. We always going to get Bible verses. I'll never forget how he stepped in and started taking me to church after my grandfathers passed away. He kept that tradition moving forward, and I will never, never, ever forget how that and what that meant to me, because he was one of the main male figures that has been with me my entire life. And I love that we can have this banter and we can laugh and I can play with him, because it wasn't like that when I was growing up. Of course, he was very kind of strict, I ain't gonna blast him out on his video, but yes, I'm so excited to have him in my life, for him to be 91 and my Aunt Ida to be at 89. So vibrant, so fun. They love going with me. They want to travel with me so much. I took my family, me and my mom took them to Dominican Republic some years ago, and they wore me out. No, Uncle Gene wore me out. He was calling me and waking me up in the morning. We supposed to be on vacation. He calling me and seeing where I am and making sure I'm back in my room late at night and asking me who I am, what I'm doing. My Aunt Ida, she just goes along with it and laughs, and she adores her husband, even when he makes her mad. We have so many countless stories of them too, and I just love to see them, even when they don't get along. I love it. It's because my Aunt Ida didn't say anything for 50 of the 69 years that they were married, and so I'm so happy that she just kind of talks back to him now, because he's very he's from the old school. So I just love that I've had them in my life. They have been such a positive inspiration and role model to me. And I love me some Aunt Ida and Uncle Gene. Can't nobody tell me nothing about neither one of them. And I love the relationship that we have built, especially as I'm an adult. So this is really very special, and they're very special to me.
Oh, okay.
Even through heartbreak, their love endured. In 2017, they experienced one of life's deepest pains, the loss of their beloved son. But even through sorrow, they held on to one another, to faith, and to the love of family that surrounded them. Now, in 2025, Eugene and Ida are still here, still calling loved ones, still praying, still laughing, still reminding everyone that love never grows old.
You turn to the channel you want to be.
It was his house. You gotta keep your eyes open. We ain't gonna keep you too long.
How have you guys? Thank you.
Wait a minute. Uncle Gina, you need to smile.
You look cute. Oh, yeah, this is really good.
I don't want TV.
You're not stupid. Don't worry. What made you like your wife? Oh, Lord.
You really don't need to say.
I know what you told me, but I need to hear why you like your wife.
You really don't need to say.
Yeah, you can do the PG version. What advice do you want your family to remember the most? What advice do you want to give?
I just told you though, that you have to like those young.
What's
You have
the
to like each
secret?
other. Well, that's all I really told you, but I like it. You know.
But you don't like him all the time.
Yeah, I love it. I like it.
But what if? Love it. Yeah, you're doing good.